Hey guys, welcome back to Star Wars Timeline. Old Ben is saying hello there. Obviously, Old Ben being me, and Benjamin is gonna react to the latest Ahsoka trailer. Guys, I'm freaking stoked for this. I'm a huge Dave Filoni fan. Without further ado, let's dive right into it. I have not seen anything on this trailer. I'm gonna give you my full thoughts and emotional response to this trailer after I watch it. But first, let's react to it. Let's see what it's all about. I have it right here. Guys, I've been a Dave Filoni believer since day one. I personally feel that nobody understands Star Wars the way this man does. He is a true George Lucas protege. Anyway, let's get into it. War. All right, we're meeting the two questionable Jedi, which are gonna be...
In order to create.
There are no Jedi. All right, awesome. Ooh, this red logo. Pretty dark. Ahsoka.
I started hearing whispers.
I hope they show Throne this time, man.
Thrawn's return as heir to the Empire. What happens when we find Thrawn?
Wait, hold on a second. They are looking for Thrawn.
You've never dreamed.
More Calamari cruisers, nice.
I've spent most of my life fighting a war.
Harry's back.
That's
Some
why I'm trying
familiar
to convince you
players.
to help me prevent another one.
You and I both
Guys,
know that
who couldn't be excited for the very first time we're gonna see the signature planet from Rebels, Lothal, in full display in live action? Yeah, I'm hyped to see it.
I never got to finish my training. I walked away from him. Just like
I'm not entirely sold on Sabine Wren yet. I don't know this actress. She looks the part, but we'll see how she plays out.
Master.
All right, he sounds like Ezra. I'm sold there. Okay, pretty exciting.
But I'm counting on you to see this through.
Ah, all right. Ahsoka cuts her hair.
Haircut.
Nice.
Sometimes we have to do what's right, regardless of our.
Obviously, it's going to be loaded with action. It's one area where none of the Star Wars show have been lacking is, and here comes Throne.
If we don't stop Thrawn, everything will be in vain.
We're going to see some Sabine Wren lightsaber action, right? Obviously, she is trained
Anakin spoke highly
in a Rebel show.
I'm not here to discuss my past.
Once a Rebel, always a Rebel.
Always a rebel.
Yeah, it's going to be loaded with action. Now, look at this. The Inquisitors are back. This seems like what some fans have suggested is an entirely new Inquisitor. So, all right, and then the trailer is basically repeating, guys. I have it here on repeat. Okay, there's a lot of stuff to unpack here. This is not going to be a full analysis kind of trailer. I just sort of wanted to share a couple of feelings with you guys, and I definitely want to hear what all of you guys think, because obviously when a new Star Wars live action show or even animation is being introduced, there's always controversy about it. There's always fans are really eager to find out what it's going to be about, and we kind of like divide ourselves, the fandom, into two camps, and we decide, oh, it's going to be great. No, there's a lot of problematic parts. We always try to figure out what's going to happen. Me, honestly, over the years, I've kind of trained myself to take everything in stride and be cautiously optimistic, because no matter who's behind the project, I don't care what big names are being attached, sometimes the results are not what you expect. Sometimes the quality just doesn't seem to be there. Even though I personally genuinely believe all the filmmakers, it is their always best intentions to make the greatest film they can possibly make, and for whatever reasons, it doesn't always comes out the way it's supposed to. For example, the latest Indiana Jones movie, I love James Mangold. I mean, Logan is one of my all-time favorite movies in or outside, popular science fiction and comic book adaptations. But with the latest Indiana Jones movie, I can't say it was entirely bad, but it wasn't thrilling either. It was just sort of kind of there. So how do I feel about this Ahsoka trailer? I'm sort of divided a little bit. The first thing that kind of grabs my eye is when we saw Admiral Thrawn in Rebels show, something about him like immediately just struck, even in the first trailer. And obviously a lot of artistry that goes behind making these trailers that make all the audiences hype and crave that new TV show. The way they did with the marketing with the Rebels show was absolutely stellar. It was phenomenal. When they introduced in that reveal trailer, I forgot which season he shows up in first, but man, when Thrawn came out, he came with the power. In this trailer, I don't know. The first Ahsoka trailer, when you just see his back, it kind of is, there's more tension behind that little shot. But here, when we see him up front and in the face, maybe it's my long personal years and relationship with the Star Wars Expanded Universe and having built a very specific vision of what Throne is supposed to look like, what he's supposed to sound like. Add on top is the Star Wars Rebels show, so I already have my personal preconceived notions what I expect from Throne character. So when I'm seeing there, it's like obviously it's entirely, you can't just judge based on a couple of seconds. We all understand that, but I'm just talking about solely the trailer itself. In there, he doesn't seem like he's just this force of nature coming through it. He's just going to completely rock everybody with stratagems and learning the art and just outwitting all of his enemies. Sabine Wren, I don't know this actress yet. As I mentioned earlier, the moment that she was announced for the show, I was like, okay, she has the look. But obviously, look is not everything. You need to have that stage presence. You need to have that certain allure and aura and acting ability to convey the character, right? So we don't see the person on screen. We actually see Sabine Wren that we all love. And remember, that was represented via animated show first, which is going to be a tricky part. How do you translate from animation into live action and maintain that seamless transition where we feel like, oh, all right, that's definitely Sabine. Same could be said about Hera, actually. It's a little bit... I feel displaced a little bit. I can't say that I feel exactly super thrilled or worried. It just feels different because it's live action. And I think the moment that we sit down and start watching the show, the first 2 episodes are going to be basically the pilot. If the story is good, if the character is playing the part, even if there are some slight variations on the character, like she says the lines differently, or she's in a different stage in her life and her personality has altered somehow or has evolved, I'm fine with that. As long as I'm watching it and I'm hooked with the characters and with the story, I'm going to say, well, guys, that's their version of Hera Syndulla, and I'm on board with it. It's totally fine. But what really was interesting, just hearing a couple of sound bites from Ezra Bridger. We're not seeing the full actor, right? We're not seeing him full force. It's just a small little hologram there. But my attention is focused there. I'm like, oh my God. That's Ezra Bridger. He's gonna come fully back. I hope he does. I hope they're just teasing him a little bit, but eventually he just comes and totally dominates the show. At least serves as a counterpart to Ahsoka. Obviously, it's her show. It's titled Ahsoka, but I hope he plays a larger role in it. I'm really intrigued and interested how these non-Jedi, right? So now these people are proclaiming themselves. They kind of like seclude themselves. I don't know if they're gonna be a small, outstanding cult that doesn't line up with the ideologies of the Jedi. Not necessarily Sith either, right? Because they didn't straight up call out and say, we're Sith now, we're Sith followers. They're just what some fans have coined the term of a gray Jedi, which never officially appears in any of the Star Wars Expanded Universe canon or the modern canon. It's something that we as fans have come up with the terminology for these Jedi that sort of stand in between. They're almost like, if you think Dungeons and Dragons, sort of like chaotic good, right? They follow their own sense of code of honor and their own sense of justice, and they don't necessarily fall for the Jedi or the Sith ideologies. So that's going to be interesting. One thing where I'm almost entirely placing my full bet on is the action. Because those couple episodes that we see Dave Filoni direct before, he can demonstrate that he's A, able to tell a story, and B, he can give us awesome action. Guys, without a doubt, probably Ahsoka, well, maybe Mayfield, right, the Bill Burr's character, and Ahsoka episodes were my favorite in the entire Mandalorian show. And with Ahsoka, it was so nice that Dave Filoni presented her from the start of the story. He didn't beat about the bush. He didn't hide her until the middle part of the episode. We spent the entire episode with Ahsoka. He develops her character as much as possible within the context of the show that belongs to another lead character. But still, it was her moment to shine. And when the time came for the action, aside from that very minor thing where she jumps off the building and you could clearly tell it's fireworks, the rest of it was just dope, man. When she approaches that fortress, the way that she swings with the lightsabers, and then obviously that duel with that lady, right, with that pole that is able to deflect lightsabers, that was on point, man. I was entirely sold. when I saw Ahsoka on screen, immediately, like the illusion was there for me. I was sold into it. It didn't break the illusion of watching, you know, as a Star Wars and science fiction show. I wasn't saying like, oh, it's just a Rosario Dawson trying to portray a role. No, it definitely worked because the devil is in the detail. Everything that was done, from her costume, from the way that they wrote her character, Rosario Dawson's awesome performance, it all felt and sank it, and they sold the experience to me. So what do I hope from the Ahsoka show? I hope that it's a show that honors the past. It honors what George Lucas has created in the Clone Wars show, how Dave Filoni took those ideas and evolved them over time, and how the Rebels show also translated that character. Actually, if you guys are interested, I have an entire podcast with my good friend Mike that we actually talked about Ahsoka throughout her years in the Clone Wars show and the Rebels show, her live action appearances, and what we expect also with Ahsoka. I wasn't expecting that we're going to get this trailer here. Obviously, we all got surprised, but it looks promising. I'm going to say that the first trailer was more exciting for me, but this one seems to like build more meat and build more lore and show us more different places and show us a lot more action sequences. That is basically continuing that hype trade. And if you guys are all super thrilled about it, please let me know once again in the comments. I love communicating with Star Wars fans, sharing ideas. Maybe there are pieces and moments and lines of dialogues that you have caught that I completely missed because I was basically talking over half of the trailer, not to get, you know, a strike from the YouTube. But anyway, I'm gonna probably rewatch it on my own, see what little details I've missed. I'm sold, guys. I'm interested in the show. As always, I wish Dave Filoni, Kathy Kennedy, and everybody who was behind it the best. Do they always deliver? Not really. Is it the cause to hate or disparage or point fingers and say who is wrong? Not really, guys. It's, you know, in my years and decades of being a film fan, a Star Wars fan, a huge fan of literature that came before Disney and after Disney, I take it all in stride. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Don't be greedy. Enjoy what you enjoy. As once again, guys, it's all Star Wars. Pick and choose what you like. There's an overabundance of content. Not all of it is great, but you can find something that you absolutely love, and you might find friends who love something entirely opposite, and you can find interesting conversations there. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Thanks for supporting my channel and tuning in and watching my reaction to this trailer, and I'll see you guys later. Take care, everyone.